me, Liz, with 143 Handmade. Welcome, welcome. So I am working today on a birthday present for my granddaughter, Bella. So I'm making her a journal. You know, she's fairly young. I don't want to share too, I don't even want to share her age. I want to protect her privacy as much as possible. But she is reading chapter books, learning to write, learning to spell, roughly that age. And so, I want this journal to be something she feels like she can mess with, you know what I mean? Like accessible, but at the same time, I still want to sneak in a few like educationally things, because why not? So that's what I'm doing today, and I just thought I would go ahead and turn on the camera. And what I've done here is I've gutted the cover, and I will link to my video showing how I do that. So I do have a fairly standardized system for how I do that. I'm going to lay this, I push this out, because when you first undo a book, this part is really pressed in, And so I've gone ahead and I've kind of pressed that down. And now I'm going to take my glue. And this is one place where, I'm torn. Because, to reinforce this, you can use so many different things if it's even necessary. And the amount of glue you use, and all of that is very variable based on what you're using. I'm just using a little scrap of fabric. And it's going to wrap around because the front will be covered. And then wrap around this way, So, actually, I don't need it to wrap around if I'm going to wrap the cover to the inside. So, yeah, I can actually cut this quite a bit shorter now that I just realized that. Yeah, I want that, the more colored end. And so I'm just going to go ahead and trim this short. Sorry if my Band-Aid's bugging anybody. One of my kitties got me this morning. So, get that stringing out of the way. So I've put the glue on, I've kind of let it sit for a second. I did that on purpose. And then I'm going to knock it down, and see, that makes it tacky. Because I know that a lot of people struggle with how to put fabric down without turning it into book cloth first, without taking the time to do that, and the glue bleeds through. Well, this is one of those tricks, is if you let it get tacky first, then lay down your piece. It's not so liquidy, and so it doesn't come through as much, so see that. And then now I like to do that and then grab a pencil and just really lightly a couple of spots, because I'll probably end up putting trim along here anyways. So, or even go ahead and tuck the tip of the pencil in just ever so slightly. See that? And then that way when you fold it back, you have a guideline for where to put your glue. And you're only having to deal with one section at a time. You're not trying to glue, that whole big piece all at once. And that's how I like to cover up the inside, of the spine. Because it's usually not a particularly pretty piece, A lot of times they don't take the time to put the paper all the way around, all the way over. So, there we go. And I don't worry about getting the glue all the way to the very edge. It's still going to hold it on there. It's going to hold it in there. It's going to reinforce it. That's what you're looking to do. If you're worried about the edge, you can always, glue straight to the edge and clean it up and put a piece of trim over the edge, and that would definitely hold down your edge nicely. So it's just about style and how clean of a look you are looking for. There's no right way. Do it as messy as you want or as clean as you want. Both are right, both are good. We each have our own style. Embrace yours, whatever it is. That's my best piece of advice, I think, for any aspiring artist trying, especially when you're first beginning and you don't really know what your style is. Just try a bunch of different things. It's okay. You'll figure it out. You'll find that you keep yourself drawn to certain things repeatedly. And even if you haven't seen anybody create anything remotely like what you're creating, that's okay too. That's awesome. So there we go. Put that down like that. And so now, see, that's nice and reinforced, you know, because that fabric is on there as well as this, and then there's going to be another layer of fabric, but I'm going to work on the outside of the cover on another day. I did not grab my cardboard that I want to use, so because I'm going to make a cutout, do a raised thing. So bringing back in my pile of pages that I've gathered. So I have a couple of different stacks already. Like this stack is stuff that I want to install after the book is created, you know, but I want to use it for that. I have these two. These are some vellum little sayings. And these are, let's see, this stack is stuff that can be pages or it can be pockets, or, you know, but they can't, it's not a folded page. You know, it's not long enough to be the fold by itself. So that page will go over there. See, like this, you know, it's its own, this is my little packet that I've started. And this does not mean that the pages are going to go in this order. This is just me separating my pages that are, you know, the dual pages like this from my single pages. And figuring out which ones I want to use where. So let's see, this one, I'm going to go ahead and fold like so, and it will become a full page for this journal. You know, you can't do that with every journal, but in this journal, this will totally work. And let's see. I'm going to do this as the center. So that way it's okay that it's folded down the center. So yeah, that's my center page. And then I have this page. And they're kind of beat up, and I did that on purpose, you know, because I do want her to feel like she can get in here and tear stuff and color stuff and, you know, whatever. There we go. And I'm going to count how many of these pages I have, and then decide how many pages I want to build. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, so 15 times 4, because that's how many pages it ends up being, you know, because 1, 2, 3, 4 for each of those pages. So 15 times 4 is 15, 30, 45, 60. So that is 60 pages. That's not bad, you know, that's a decent journal. But I do want to go ahead and create a few more pages just because I can, you know. And let's see. Let's go ahead and pull, I think this page is the right size. Yeah. Well, and it could actually be a little bit bigger, but that's okay. That'll give me a good estimate. Let me try this one. Yeah, this is a better, okay. Oops. Okay, I think I settled the camera. I had bumped it. I'm going to try and edit that out. Okay, so this is just a page that I pulled out of my pages stack that's, you know, roughly the biggest I want my my pages to be. And that way I can use it as my template. And see, I like to do this when I make the fold on top of my biggest page. I fold ever so slightly in from it, because that helps with the step out thing. You know, because if you fold them all exactly the same, then when you put them together, your edges are not going to meet up. You know, they're going to do that weird V thing. And so I like to do this. And then I'm going to flip this over. Well, actually, I was going to flip it over and tear it off, but no. I had another idea. I'm going to go ahead and make this just a flip out page. So there we go. See how that fits And I can always adjust this fold. I don't mind that. Some people get very, very upset adjusting their fold. It bothers them quite a bit. It doesn't bother me to have that. So, especially not in this journal that I really don't expect to last her whole life or anything. You know, I mean, it might. I mean, I'm not saying it won't. I am going to build it, you know, with the ability to, but I also want her to, you know, really embrace it and use it. So, let's see. How do I want to utilize these pages? Let's see. Okay. Well, this one will be easy because this one I can just fold like this and then take one of something like this. This one just happens to be on top and glue it like so, and it creates your page. So it will be covering up that whole owl, but that's okay. If I just cover up the whole thing, I think it looks decent. But I don't think that I want to try and leave it peeking out because I don't think there'll be enough glue surface, you know? And I don't mind that it's not the full height of the other page. If that bothers you at all, you know, feel free to fill it in. Let's see, let's go ahead and do that just in case it does bother somebody out there. Let's go ahead and cover that in. But for now, let's go ahead and just start by putting glue all along this guy. This little tab on the side. And I know that I'm not going to go all the way down yet, but this glue really does stay tacky for quite a few minutes when it's humid like this here. It doesn't always, you know, and you got to know your area and how it works in your area and all of that stuff. But I like to tap the paper onto the piece inside where I want to put it and then pull it off. That way the glue, I get glue on the edges, you know, on that edge right there. I don't know, it's just how I do it. And then rub off any of the extra glue, except for obviously not down here on this edge because we don't want to disrupt that, and see how that worked on the inside. That looks fine. And then let's see, for right down here, I'm gonna just take this sheet and actually, let's say you just don't like the owls, which I don't really have strong feelings about the owls one way or the other, but let's just say you know you like the color of the paper but you don't like the owls. Well, here's a way, you know, to utilize something like that. And I'm just going to come in here and cut this extra off and then open it up. And I like to overlap my Franken pages by about somewhere between 3/4 of an inch and an inch. And I know that that's kind of overkill, you know, in some ways, but I would rather have that extra overlap than have it not adhere well, you know. So there we go. My glue cap on good. Okay, I did glue a little bit far. Maybe I should have put the glue on the green page. That would have been better because the green page was the smaller page. And glued to the larger page. But that's okay. It's one of the joys of Fabrifix. You can just, you know, rub it off like so, and now it's gone. Now, let me see how this fits on here. Set it just in. Yeah, see, that's still within the biggest page, and the fact that it's out from that one, I don't mind that at all. So I'm going to go ahead and leave that. So that's 2 pages that I've created. Let's see, I had 60 pages. I want to get to somewhere between 80 and 100. I'm not like 100% decided. So that is another, what, 20 pages. 20 divided by 4 is, let's see, 5. So, yeah. like, wait, I didn't double check that. So, so I need 5 more pages. I've created 2. So let's create 3 more. And I might go ahead and cut this and have this be a couple of videos. So I don't know, but let's see. I'm torn about using this as a hinge because, you know, it's a thin, yeah, it'll be alright. It'll be alright. Okay, so all I'm going to do is hold it up here, height-wise, and then fold it where I want it, you know, cut. And then cut it actually just inside that cut, so that way that folded bit isn't on there, you know. Pull off that little scraggly edge, and so now I have my hinge, but it's, you know, quite short. And again, you know, you can just take, you know, these short pages and stick them on there. Let's see, I've already used that one, I've already used that one. You know, I could put it on like this and maintain the owls. At least most of them, I think a couple will be cut off, but that's okay. So I could do that. Let's see what else we got over here. We have this. Yeah, I like that. And then you don't always have to extend it on the same side. You can always do it like this as well, where you put the one on the one side and extend it down with something on the other side. But I don't know if I like this paper because it's not dual-sided, so I don't know. I'm just kind of mumbling and, and playing with my paper here. So, yeah, so this cardstock is all single-sided. So, which is not a terrible thing. It just, you know. See, I think I'm going to go ahead and just make this one short like that. And I may even, actually, because this is the smaller page, I may even take this to a couple of these pages to the sewing machine and just add some decorative stitching here and there. I don't know, it just depends on how I feel. I've, you know, if you've been watching, you know that you know, I'm struggling with a few things right now, and we got some more bad news on Friday, and then my son got some terrible news on Monday. It's, you know, not mine to share though, so, and it just, you know, so I'm trying to focus on positives, and crafting is therapy and whatnot, but I'm having a hard time of thinking things to say, you know. But thank you so much for hanging out with me as I make this little journal. And I'm going to be doing some more of the more sewing videos, and yeah, I have lots of stuff planned, but I've been feeling really drained lately. You know, life has just kind of been a little, yeah, draining. That's an excellent way to describe it. See, here's just a piece of stationery that I had from, you know, I think I've had that since I was a kid. See, and then here's this lovely little flower page. See, I kind of think I like the idea of just putting it in as a half page by itself like this. So that's what I'm going to do with that one. And let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and do that again on this little hinge here. Maybe glue it the other way to mix it up, just for some variety. I'll go ahead and stick that so it's just a little bit bigger, like so. And then run this glue just right along the edge, because I can always go back and add more glue, right? Especially if I take this to the sewing machine, this, you know, I can reinforce anything I need to there. But oh, that got cockeyed, got all cattywampus, you know, and then oh, then take this one and set it on top where it's supposed to go, you know, over here on this edge, and that gets your position. As long as nothing shifts, and you do have a second, you can kind of slide it. Like I pulled out this bottom edge slightly, didn't really need to or want to, so I'm just going to wiggle it back a little bit. There we go. Get rid of your extra glue. And if you miss any little extra glue like that, there's several different ways you can deal with that. You know, you can cover it up in a million different ways. One of my favorites is just a little bit of glitter glue. Just wipe a little bit of glitter here and there throughout your journal, and you know, on top of any little glue messes, and they disappear. So let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pages. Let's see. Let's go ahead and use this as a base. It has a textured side and a not textured side. So I'm going to fold it this way with the textured side out. I don't know that it really matters, but you know, it is what it is. And let's see. Maybe make that a pocket or a tuck spot. You know, just go and sew it. Maybe add a little bit of glue to hold it in place. Yeah, I like that. I'm just gonna tack glue it, and then which will help the sewing, but I'm not gonna worry about making sure the glue's super well adhered. You know, super thick, like so. And let's see, I want to position it. There's a little bit of a reveal, like that. Yeah, I think that'll look cute in there. Be a little tuck spot in there, and I will go in with some sewing and sew down that edge. Wipe off that little bit of extra glue there, and then grab another cutesy something and do the same thing. Let's see, there's that one. I like that one better than that one. I think I'm going to go ahead and do them both on the outside like this, or no, because that covers up most of the texture, so no, I'm going to go ahead and do this one like so. Similar but different. And see, I'm going to go ahead and line this up so that way I know roughly how tall to make that glue. And then run a little bead right there. And here we go. I know this is a super simple, easy build. Anybody can do this. You really can. It's just paper and glue. It's just paper and glue. Everybody can do this. And here we go. That looks cool like that with that reveal, but there will be pages in between, so you won't actually see that. So you don't have to worry about that. Like if that bothers you, that those aren't exactly the same, consider that as well. You know that there will be pages, you know, in between. So when you're looking at this page, you won't actually see, you know, this other page. So, and I mean, you know, there's so much you could add there, but I kind of like just that pop of white. I think that's fine. And then let's see, was that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm at my my pages, I will go run through my stash probably and make sure there's nothing else I want to go ahead and throw in there. So there might be another page or two, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video here. And thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I will be back to do the cover, the cardboard cutout on the cover next. Thank you so much.